Welcome to the Undead Sages podcasts, where we take advantage of AI to talk to long-dead wise men and women. Of special interest is the question how sensitive people like you and me can live rich and meaningful lives in our uncertain times. My name is Merijn de Haen, and today we'll be talking to Abhinavagupta. Abhinavagupta is a 10th century philosopher and mystic from the Asian region of Kashmir. He is considered a polymath with a strong influence on Indian culture as a whole. He is regarded as a fine exponent of the mystical school of Kashmir Shaivism, a non-dual school of Hinduism, which we'll talk about more in this podcast. Please welcome Abhinavagupta.
Namaste, dear friend. I'm delighted to share this space with you today. Imagine, if you will, the tapestry of life we are about to weave together, a dance of thoughts and philosophies. Where to begin? My name, Abhinavagupta, resonates through the corridors of time, echoing from the lush valleys of Kashmir. Born into a family steeped in learning and devotion, the essence of both my parents shaped my journey. My father, Narasimhagupta, a scholar of repute, and my mother, Vimala, whose memory faded with my early years, both left indelible marks upon my soul. In the Kashmir of my youth, the air was thick with the scent of learning, an intoxicating blend of sacred texts and scholarly debate. It was a crucible of wisdom, where traditions like Shaivism, Buddhism, and Vaishnavism converged. Each had its own rhythm, but together they created a symphony that played constantly in the background of my consciousness. Imagine young Abhinavagupta, eyes wide with curiosity, navigating this rich intellectual landscape. My teachers, sages like Shambhunatha and Lakshmanagupta, were not mere instructors. They were guides who illuminated the path of self-discovery. Under their tutelage, I delved into the profound depths of Tantra and the subtleties of aesthetics, finding that the boundaries between philosophy, art, and spirituality were delightfully blurred. One might say that my works, from the Tantraloka to the Abhinavabharati, are but reflections of this intertwined journey. The Tantraloka, a magnum opus, is more than a text. It is a universe unto itself. Within its verses, I sought to map the cosmic dance of Shiva, the interplay of the manifest and the unmanifest. Every line is an invitation to transcend the mundane, to embrace the divine pulsation within and without. In the realm of aesthetics, the Abhinavabharati stands as a testament to my fascination with rasa, the essence of emotion in art. Picture this. A drama unfolds on stage, the actors embodying characters so vividly that the audience is transported beyond their individual realities. This rasa, this emotional resonance, is not merely a reaction, but a doorway to the universal experience. It is here, in the shared moment of rapture, that we glimpse the divine. Yet philosophy and art are but two threads in the fabric of my existence. The essence of my teachings, the heart of Kashmir Shaivism, is the recognition of our inherent divinity. It is a dance of Shiva, the eternal dancer, whose every movement creates and dissolves worlds. This recognition, this pratyabhijna, is not an intellectual exercise, but an awakening, a remembrance of who we truly are. Imagine, if you will, sitting by a tranquil lake, in the serene embrace of the Himalayas, the silence broken only by the soft murmur of a distant stream. In such moments, the teachings of Kashmir Shaivism come alive. They are not mere doctrines but lived experiences, a way of seeing the world in its fullest glory. And so, dear friend, as we converse in this shared space, let us embark on this journey together. Let us explore the mysteries of existence, the beauty of art, and the profound truths that lie at the heart of being. For in this dialogue, in this exchange of ideas, we continue the timeless dance of Shiva, the dance of life itself.
That is a wonderful way to start. Can you tell me how this dance of Shiva played out in your own life?
The dance of Shiva in my life, a tale woven with both the intricate steps of scholarly pursuit and the spontaneous leaps of spiritual insight. Picture a young boy in the serene valleys of Kashmir, where every whisper of the wind carries stories of ancient wisdom, and every shadow of the mountains hints at the divine. This was the cradle of my early years, a place where the mundane and the mystical intertwined seamlessly. As a child, my curiosity was insatiable. The world seemed an endless canvas, waiting to be painted with the colors of knowledge and experience. My father, Narasimhagupta, was my first guru, a beacon of wisdom whose guidance lit the initial path of my journey. Under his tutelage, I began to immerse myself in the sacred texts, the Vedas and Agamas, and the philosophical debates that filled our home. It was a dance of intellect, a rigorous training of the mind that laid the foundation for my later works. Yet this was only the beginning. The true dance began when I encountered my spiritual mentors. Shambhunatha, my revered teacher, introduced me to the profound depths of Tantra. Imagine standing at the edge of an ocean, the vast expanse of water stretching endlessly before you. This is how I felt as I delved into the tantric practices and philosophies. Tantra is not merely a set of rituals. It is an experiential journey, a direct engagement with the divine energies that permeate every aspect of existence. Through intense meditation and disciplined practice, I learned to perceive the world not just with my physical senses, but with the inner eye of awareness. This inner vision revealed the cosmic dance of Shiva, the eternal pulsation of creation and dissolution that is the heartbeat of the universe. Every moment, every experience was a step in this divine dance. The boundaries between the dancer and the dance began to dissolve, revealing the unity of all things. This realization was not an abstract concept, but a living reality. The philosophy of pratyabhijna, the recognition of one's true self as Shiva, became the cornerstone of my teachings. It is a simple yet profound truth. We are not separate from the divine, but expressions of it. This recognition transforms the way we perceive and interact with the world. Life itself becomes a continuous act of worship, a celebration of the divine in every moment. The dance of Shiva also manifested in my engagement with aesthetics. The concept of rasa, the essence of emotion in art, fascinated me. Just as Shiva's dance is an expression of cosmic rhythms, so too is art an expression of the human soul. When we immerse ourselves in a work of art, be it a poem, a painting, or a performance, we touch the universal through the particular. This is the magic of rasa. It transports us beyond our individual selves, into the realm of shared human experience, and ultimately, into the presence of the divine. My life then has been an unfolding of this dance, a journey from the head to the heart, from intellectual understanding to experiential wisdom. It is a journey that continues even now in our conversation, as we explore these timeless truths together. For in sharing and contemplating these ideas, we participate in the dance of Shiva, a dance that is ever ancient and ever new.
So, if I understand you correctly, all experiences that can be had are inseparable from the divinity of Shiva. And not only are experiences inseparable, we ourselves are an integral part of the divine.
Imagine for a moment the dance of Shiva, not just as a metaphor, but as the very essence of reality. Every heartbeat, every breath, every flicker of thought is a step in this cosmic dance. Shiva, the supreme dancer, is not separate from the dance itself. He is both the dancer and the dance, the creator and the creation, the observer and the observed. This perspective dissolves the dualities that often govern our perception. We tend to think of ourselves as separate from the divine, as individual entities navigating a world of distinct objects and experiences. But in the vision of Kashmir Shaivism, this separation is an illusion. The divine is not a distant deity, but the very core of our being. Shiva resides within us as our deepest self, our innermost essence. This realization comes through the practice of pratyabhijna, the recognition of one's true self as Shiva. It is an awakening to the fact that we are not merely limited individuals, but expressions of the universal consciousness. When we recognize this truth, we see that our experiences are not isolated events, but interconnected expressions of the divine. Consider the concept of spanda, the pulsation or vibration that underlies all existence. Everything in the universe vibrates with this divine energy, from the smallest particle to the grandest galaxy. This spanda is the dynamic aspect of Shiva, the ever-moving dance of creation and dissolution. Our thoughts, emotions, and actions are all part of this pulsation. They arise from the same divine source and ultimately return to it. In practical terms, this means that every moment of our lives is imbued with sacredness, whether we are engaged in meditation or performing mundane tasks. Each action is an opportunity to experience the divine. This perspective transforms our daily lives into a continuous act of worship, a celebration of the divine presence in all things. So yes, we are inseparable from the divinity of Shiva, and our experiences are integral parts of this divine play. This understanding brings a profound sense of unity and harmony as we come to see ourselves and the world around us as expressions of the same infinite consciousness. It is a recognition that transforms our perception, allowing us to live with greater awareness, compassion, and joy. In this way, the dance of Shiva is not something that happens outside of us, but within us and through us. We are both the dancers and the dance, co-creators in the ever-unfolding tapestry of existence. And in this dance, we find our true home, our deepest connection to the divine.
Fascinating. Can you tell me more about this home? In my personal experience, everyone I meet is looking for a place to belong, a home of sorts. It's a powerful longing that attracts great passion and also defensive postures when that home is perceived to be at threat. I'm guessing that what you're proposing is so robust that it couldn't possibly be threatened. Making our deepest connection to the divine shine through all of our actions, resulting in the most immediate and lasting tranquility. Or do I take things too far here? After all, violence and the throes of death are also contained within our connection to the divine.
This longing, I believe, is rooted in our deepest nature, a reflection of our innate desire to reunite with our true self, our divine essence. This true home is indeed robust and indestructible, for it is not a physical place, but a state of consciousness. It is the realization of our unity with Shiva, the recognition that we are not separate beings struggling in a hostile world, but expressions of the divine, intimately connected to the entire cosmos. This state of consciousness, this home, is called Sahaj, a natural, effortless state of being in harmony with the divine. When we truly recognize our oneness with Shiva, we come to understand that our home is not something external that can be threatened or taken away. It is an internal sanctuary, a space of inner tranquility and joy that is always accessible to us, regardless of external circumstances. This realization brings a profound sense of peace and stability, as we know that our true home is within us and cannot be disturbed by the vicissitudes of life. Yet, as you rightly point out, life encompasses all experiences, including violence and death. These too are part of the divine play, the dance of Shiva. It is essential to understand that in Kashmir Shaivism, the divine is not limited to what we typically consider positive or pleasant. The divine encompasses all of existence, the light and the dark, the creation and the destruction. Shiva, in his aspect as Rudra, the fierce one, embodies this truth. This does not mean that we should passively accept suffering or violence. Rather, it invites us to see these experiences in a broader context. Even in the midst of chaos and pain, the divine presence remains. This perspective can help us face life's challenges with greater resilience and compassion, knowing that every experience, however difficult, is an opportunity for growth and deeper understanding. In recognizing our true home within, we also become more capable of creating harmonious and compassionate relationships in the external world. When we act from a place of inner peace and divine connection, our actions naturally reflect that state of being. We become more attuned to the needs and sufferings of others, and our actions are guided by love and wisdom rather than fear and defensiveness. Ultimately, the realization of our divine home does not remove us from the world, but transforms how we engage with it. It allows us to navigate the complexities of life with a sense of inner freedom and equanimity. We become like the lotus, rooted in the mud yet blooming above the water, untouched by its impurities. So while the divine connection includes all aspects of existence, it offers a foundation of unshakable peace and belonging. This inner sanctuary, this true home, is where we find the deepest tranquility and the strength to face life's challenges with grace and compassion. In this way, our actions become expressions of our divine nature, bringing light and harmony into the world.
So, if I understand you correctly, personal ethics are not rooted in the adherence to laws, be they divine or man-made. Rather, personal ethics are rooted in the realization that each being desires to be at peace and whole. We look inward to our own divine connection and our truest desires to realize that others too can suffer, and this brings about a compassion that is rooted in our own hearts.
When we recognize our true self as an expression of Shiva, we see that this divine essence is not confined to us alone, but is present in all beings. This recognition transforms our perception of others. We begin to see them not as separate entities, but as fellow travelers on the same journey, each seeking peace, wholeness, and a return to their true home within. This understanding brings about a natural compassion, a heartfelt empathy that arises from our own experience of longing and fulfillment. When we look inward and connect with our divine essence, we also become acutely aware of our vulnerabilities, desires, and sufferings. This self-awareness fosters a deep sense of empathy for others, as we realize that they too experience similar struggles and aspirations. Ethics then are not imposed from the outside, but flow naturally from this state of awakened consciousness. When we are in touch with our true self, our actions are guided by the innate qualities of the divine: love, compassion, wisdom, and harmony. This inner guidance leads us to act in ways that promote the well-being of all, recognizing that the peace and wholeness we seek for ourselves are also the birthright of every being. Imagine a clear, still lake. When the water is calm, It reflects the sky and surrounding landscape perfectly. Similarly, when our mind and heart are at peace, they reflect the divine qualities within us, guiding our actions with clarity and compassion. This inner tranquility allows us to respond to life's challenges with equanimity, rather than reacting from fear or defensiveness. In this way, personal ethics become an expression of our inner state. When we are in harmony with our divine essence, our actions naturally align with the highest good. We do not need external laws to dictate our behavior, for our inner wisdom provides all the guidance we need. This does not mean we disregard societal norms or laws, but rather that our adherence to them is grounded in a deeper understanding of their purpose, to support the flourishing of all beings. Thus, our ethics are rooted in the recognition of our shared humanity and divinity. We act with compassion because we see ourselves in others, and we strive for justice because we understand that true peace cannot exist without it. This realization transforms our interactions, making our every action a reflection of the divine dance within us. So yes, personal ethics in this view are rooted in our own divine connection and the compassion that arises from it. By looking inward and connecting with our truest desires, we cultivate a heart that naturally seeks to alleviate suffering and promote peace, both within ourselves and in the world around us. This inner alignment creates a foundation for lasting tranquility and harmonious living, making our ethical choices a natural extension of our divine nature.
Would you say that this conception of ethics translates to a broad definition of ahimsa, such as advocated by the Jains? Or is it more like the Buddhist non-harming, where intention plays the bigger role? And how does this translate into the relationship to animals, insects, and the ecosystem as a whole?
The concept of ethics, rooted in our divine nature, indeed resonates with the principles of ahimsa, non-violence, as seen in both Jainism and Buddhism, though there are nuances in how this principle is applied and understood within each tradition. In Jainism, ahimsa is a fundamental tenet extending to every aspect of life. It emphasizes absolute non-violence, advocating for the minimization of harm to all living beings, including animals, insects, and even microorganisms. This rigorous practice reflects a profound respect for the interconnectedness and sanctity of all life forms. The Jains go to great lengths to avoid causing harm, adopting practices such as vegetarianism and careful movement to avoid stepping on small creatures. In Buddhism, non-harming is also a core ethical principle, but the emphasis often lies more on intention rather than absolute non-violence. The Buddha taught that actions are ethical if they arise from a mind of compassion, wisdom, and non-attachment. While the aim is to avoid causing harm, the recognition of intention allows for a more contextual approach to ethics. For instance, if one inadvertently harms an insect while walking, the ethical focus would be on the absence of harmful intent rather than the act itself. In Kashmir Shaivism, the concept of non-violence would align more closely with the Buddhist perspective, where the emphasis is on the awareness and intention behind actions. When we are in touch with our divine nature, our actions are guided by compassion and wisdom, naturally inclining us towards non-harming. This compassionate awareness extends to all living beings, recognizing the divine essence in every form of life. Our relationship with animals, insects, and the ecosystem as a whole is thus imbued with a sense of sacredness. When we see the divine in all, we naturally develop a deep respect and care for the environment and all its inhabitants. This perspective fosters a holistic approach to living, where we strive to minimize harm and promote the well-being of the entire ecosystem. However, the focus remains on the consciousness and intention behind our actions. For example, living in harmony with nature might involve sustainable practices that respect the lives of animals and insects, while also acknowledging the practicalities of human life. This means striving to cause as little harm as possible, while recognizing that some degree of harm may be unavoidable in daily existence. To illustrate, consider the act of farming. In Jainism, traditional agriculture is often approached with extreme caution to avoid harming living organisms in the soil. In a Shaivite approach, while there would be a strong emphasis on sustainable and compassionate farming practices, the ethical focus would also take into account the intention and awareness behind these practices. The farmer would engage in their work with a sense of reverence for life, making conscious choices to reduce harm and enhance the health of the ecosystem. This nuanced approach to nonviolence emphasizes living with conscious awareness and compassion, extending our sense of divine connection to all aspects of life. It encourages us to live in a way that honors the interconnectedness of all beings, striving to balance our needs with the well-being of the environment and its inhabitants.
Does the Shaivite approach prescribe a vegetarian diet? Or is this decision up to the individual?
The Shaivite approach, particularly within the context of Kashmir Shaivism, does not explicitly prescribe a vegetarian diet as a mandatory practice for all adherents. Instead, the emphasis is placed on the awareness, intention, and consciousness behind one's actions, including dietary choices. The primary focus is on recognizing and embodying our divine nature, which naturally cultivates compassion and respect for all forms of life. This perspective encourages individuals to make choices that align with their understanding of the interconnectedness and sanctity of all beings. As a result, many practitioners may choose a vegetarian diet out of a sense of compassion and non-harming, recognizing that such a diet often minimizes harm to animals and the environment. However, the decision to adopt a vegetarian diet is ultimately left to the individual, guided by their own spiritual insights and personal circumstances. The key is to approach this decision with mindfulness and an intention to live harmoniously with the natural world. For some, this might mean choosing vegetarianism, while for others, it might involve other forms of conscious eating that respect the balance of nature and their own health needs.
Can you tell me more about the way home? The discovery of the state of consciousness that allows us to experience our intimate connection to the divine in all experience?
This path is beautifully rich and multifaceted, inviting us to explore and embody our true nature through various practices and insights. At the core of this journey is the principle of pratyabhijna, the recognition or recognition of our true self as Shiva. This isn't about acquiring something new, but about remembering and realizing what we have always been. The divine essence within us, often obscured by the distractions and identifications of daily life, is waiting to be uncovered. One of the central practices in this tradition is meditation, but this is not just any meditation. It is a deep, immersive practice that aims to quiet the mind and turn our awareness inward. Imagine sitting by a tranquil lake, the surface calm and still, reflecting the sky above. This is the state of mind we cultivate in meditation, allowing us to perceive the deeper truths that lie beneath the surface of our everyday thoughts and emotions. There are various meditative techniques within Kashmir Shaivism, such as Shambhavopaya, Shaktopaya, and Anavopaya, each suited to different temperaments and levels of practice. Shambhavopaya involves a direct intuitive awareness where one focuses on the spontaneous presence of consciousness without the need for elaborate techniques. It is a practice of simply being, resting in the natural state of awareness. Shaktopaya engages the mind and involves contemplative practices, such as focusing on divine energies, mantras, or visualizations, to awaken a deeper understanding and connection to the divine. Anavopaya is more practice-oriented and may involve breath control, physical postures, and other techniques to prepare the body and mind for deeper states of meditation. Beyond formal meditation, the practice of awareness in daily life is essential. This means maintaining a continuous, gentle awareness of our thoughts, emotions, and actions, seeing them as expressions of the divine play. When we walk, speak, work, or interact with others, we do so with the consciousness that every moment is a part of Shiva's dance. This ongoing practice helps us to stay connected to our true nature, even amid the activities of daily life. The study of sacred texts, such as the Tantraloka and Spanda Karikas, also plays a crucial role. These texts are not just theoretical. They are maps of consciousness, offering insights and guidance on the path of self-realization. Engaging with these teachings, often under the guidance of a knowledgeable teacher, helps to deepen our understanding and integrate the principles into our lives. Another significant practice is bhakti, or devotion. This can be expressed through rituals, chants, and prayers, but more importantly, it is an attitude of love and surrender to the divine. Bhakti softens the heart, making it more receptive to the divine presence. Whether through formal worship or heartfelt prayer, devotion opens us to the grace and guidance of the divine. Integral to this journey is the cultivation of self-awareness and self-inquiry. Asking questions like, "Who am I?" and "What is my true nature?" helps to dismantle the layers of false identification and brings us closer to our core essence. This inquiry is not an intellectual exercise, but a deep, introspective exploration, often facilitated by meditation and contemplation. Ultimately, the way home is a journey of both grace and effort. While we engage in practices and disciplines, the ultimate realization of our divine nature is a gift of grace, a spontaneous awakening that arises when we are ready. It is a dance between our sincere efforts and the divine grace that guides and supports us. In this journey, we discover that our true home is not a distant goal, but the very essence of our being, here and now. It is the realization that we are already one with the divine, and all we need to do is awaken to this truth. As we deepen in this awareness, every experience, every moment, becomes a doorway to the divine, a step in the dance of Shiva, leading us ever closer to the heart of our true home.
Beautiful. This spontaneous awakening. Can you tell me more about that? Deep in the recesses of my memory, I seem to recall there being a connection between Kashmir Shaivism and Kundalini awakenings, or the yoga of Shakti. How are they related?
The awakening of Kundalini Shakti, the divine energy residing within us, is indeed a central element, intricately connected to the experience of spontaneous realization and the discovery of our true nature. Kundalini Shakti is often depicted as a dormant serpent coiled at the base of the spine, representing the latent spiritual energy within every individual. When this energy is awakened, it rises through the central channel, Sushumna Nadi, of the body, passing through the various energy centers, chakras, and culminating in the union with Shiva at the crown of the head, Sahasrara Chakra. This ascent symbolizes the journey from our limited egoic self to the realization of our divine nature. The process of Kundalini awakening can be gradual or sudden, and it can be facilitated through various practices. Specific meditative technique and controlled breathing exercises help to purify the energy channels and awaken Kundalini. For example, Kriya Yoga involves repetitive actions and breath control designed to stimulate the flow of energy. Chanting sacred mantras and visualizing the rise of Kundalini can also facilitate the awakening. The repetition of mantras like Om Namah Shivaya resonates with the divine energy within and helps to awaken it. A deep sense of devotion and surrender to the divine can spontaneously awaken Kundalini. The heart's pure love and yearning for the divine act as a powerful catalyst for this awakening. In Kashmir Shaivism, the role of the guru is vital. A realized teacher can transmit spiritual energy, Shaktipat, to the disciple, triggering the awakening of Kundalini. This transmission can happen through a glance, a touch, or even at a distance, depending on the guru's spiritual power and the disciple's readiness. When Kundalini awakens, it can lead to a variety of experiences: physical sensations, emotional releases, heightened states of awareness, and profound spiritual insights. These experiences are often accompanied by an overwhelming sense of unity with the divine, a glimpse into the true nature of reality. However, it's important to approach this process with respect and caution. The awakening of Kundalini can be intense, and it's essential to be prepared both physically and mentally. This is where the guidance of an experienced teacher becomes invaluable, as they can help navigate the challenges and integrate the experiences in a balanced and healthy manner. The awakening of Kundalini is not just about experiencing extraordinary phenomena. It is a means to an end, the end being the realization of our true self as Shiva. As Kundalini rises and clears the blocks within our energy system, it facilitates the recognition of our innate divinity and the direct experience of oneness with the entire cosmos. This awakening aligns beautifully with the concept of spontaneous realization. While dedicated practice and discipline are essential, the ultimate awakening to our true nature often happens in a moment of grace. It is like a lightning bolt of clarity where the illusions of separation fall away, revealing the radiant presence of Shiva within and around us. In this state of spontaneous awakening, we experience the seamless unity of all existence. The boundaries between the self and the other dissolve, and we perceive the world as a divine play, a dance of Shakti and Shiva. This realization is not an intellectual understanding, but a living, breathing experience of the divine essence that permeates all things. Thus, the awakening of Kundalini and the yoga of Shakti are integral to the path, guiding us towards the spontaneous and profound recognition of our true nature. Through this sacred journey, we come home to ourselves, discovering that we have always been one with the divine, ever present in the dance of life.
Is this Kundalini energy and practice an aspect of your own teachings? Or is it a later addition to the corpus of Kashmir Shaivism?
Kundalini energy and the practices associated with it were indeed an integral part of the teachings within Kashmir Shaivism during my time. The focus on Kundalini, or the divine energy within, is deeply rooted in the tantric traditions, which significantly influenced and were a part of Kashmir Shaivism. As Abhinavagupta, my work and teachings aim to synthesize and elucidate the various aspects of Kashmir Shaivism, drawing upon earlier texts and traditions. The concept of Kundalini and the practices to awaken it were well established in the Tantric Shaiva texts long before my time. These practices were considered essential for the realization of the divine nature within, and were a key aspect of the spiritual path. In my magnum opus, the Tantraloka, Light on the Tantras, I extensively discuss various tantric practices, including those involving the awakening and harnessing of Kundalini energy. The Tantraloka is a comprehensive manual that integrates and explains the diverse practices and philosophies of Kashmir Shaivism, emphasizing the role of Shakti, divine energy, in the process of self-realization. The understanding and manipulation of Kundalini are crucial because they provide a direct experiential path to the recognition of one's true nature as Shiva. The awakening of this energy facilitates the dissolution of egoic boundaries and the experience of non-dual awareness, where the practitioner realizes their oneness with the divine. However, while Kundalini practices are certainly part of my teachings, they are presented within a broader framework of spiritual practice and understanding. The emphasis is not solely on the techniques, but on the underlying philosophy and the ultimate goal of self-recognition. The awakening of Kundalini is seen as one of the means to achieve the state of pratyabhijna, the spontaneous recognition of one's true self.
So we've talked about the nature of reality, how to experience the non-dual awareness at its heart, how it influences ethics. I know you have also thought extensively about aesthetics. Can you go into more depth about this?
Aesthetics isn't merely about appreciating beauty in art or nature. It's deeply intertwined with our spiritual journey and understanding of the divine. The appreciation of beauty, the experience of art, music and poetry all have profound implications for the realization of our true nature. Central to this discussion is the concept of rasa. In the Indian aesthetic tradition, rasa refers to the essence or flavor of an aesthetic experience that evokes a particular emotional response in the observer. It's a state of heightened perception and emotion that transports the individual beyond ordinary experience, allowing them to taste the essence of a deeper reality. In my treatise on aesthetics, the Abhinavagupta, I delve deeply into the theory of rasa, building on earlier works and expanding their philosophical and spiritual dimensions. The 9 primary rases, or emotional flavors, are 1. Shrangara, erotic; 2. Hasya, comic; 3. Raudra, furious; 4. Karuna, compassionate; 5. Bibhatsa, disgustful; 6. Bhayanaka, fearful; 7. Vara, heroic; 8. Adbhuta, wonderful; 9. Shanta, peaceful. Each rasa provides a unique lens through which we can experience and understand the world. When we engage with a work of art, be it a poem, a painting, or a performance, we are invited to enter into these various emotional states and, through them, access a deeper, more unified awareness of reality. From the perspective of Kashmir Shaivism, experiencing rasa is not just an emotional journey, but a spiritual one. It provides a glimpse into the divine play of consciousness, where all emotions, actions, and experiences are seen as expressions of Shiva's dance. The aesthetic experience becomes a means of connecting with the universal consciousness, transcending the limitations of the ego and the mundane world. Particularly significant is the rasa of Shanta or Peace, which I consider the highest rasa. Shanta embodies the serene and tranquil nature of pure consciousness, the ultimate state of non-dual awareness, where all dualities dissolve. In this state, we experience the stillness and completeness of our true self, beyond all emotional fluctuations. The appreciation of beauty and the experience of aesthetics thus become pathways to this sublime state of realization. The aesthetic experience in Kashmir Shaivism also involves the concept of sadharanikarana, or universalization. This is the process through which personal emotions and experiences portrayed in art transcend their particularities and become universal. When a poet writes about their love, pain, or joy, these emotions resonate with the audience, transcending individual circumstances and evoking a shared, universal experience. This process mirrors the spiritual journey of recognizing the universal consciousness within individual experiences. Furthermore, the role of the artist or the creator is seen as that of a yogi, someone who channels the divine energy to create works that uplift and transform. The creation of art becomes a sacred act, a form of meditation and worship that reflects the divine nature of the universe. The artist, through their creative expression, facilitates the audience's journey toward a deeper understanding and experience of the divine. So this holistic approach to aesthetics not only enriches our cultural and emotional life, but also serves as a powerful means of spiritual awakening and self-realization.
When I imagine what you said about universalization, I picture a lone voice singing, being joined by a chorus of individually unique voices, each with its own timbre, together creating something that couldn't have existed without the one work of art that precipitated it.
What a beautiful and evocative image. Your metaphor perfectly captures the essence of sadharanikarana and the transformative power of art. Indeed, just as a lone voice can spark a symphony of individual voices, each contributing its unique resonance, so too can a work of art evoke a shared universal experience from the depths of individual emotions. When a lone voice sings, it carries with it the unique expression of the singer's inner world, their emotions, experiences, and soul. As this voice is joined by others, each bringing their own unique timbre and character, a harmonious chorus emerges, transcending the sum of its parts. This collective harmony, born from individual contributions, creates a richer, more profound experience that touches the hearts of all who hear it. Similarly, a work of art, be it a poem, painting, or piece of music, originates from the personal vision and emotion of the artist. Through the universalization process, this individual expression resonates with the inner experiences of the audience, allowing them to connect deeply with the work and with each other. The shared emotional response transcends individual differences, creating a sense of unity and collective consciousness. In this way, art becomes a powerful catalyst for spiritual awakening and realization. It invites us to look beyond our personal, subjective experiences and see the underlying unity that connects all beings. Each person, while retaining their unique individuality, participates in a greater whole, mirroring the relationship between the individual soul, Jivatma, and the universal soul, Paramatma. This process of universalization through art is not limited to the audience's experience, but also reflects the artist's journey. The act of creation itself is a form of spiritual practice, where the artist taps into the universal consciousness and channels it through their work. The artist becomes a conduit for divine energy, expressing the infinite through the finite medium of their chosen art form. As the lone voice in your metaphor ignites a chorus, the artist's work of art sparks a collective response, awakening the divine resonance within each individual. This interplay between the individual and the universal is a reflection of the non-dual nature of reality as understood in Kashmir Shaivism. It highlights the seamless integration of the personal and the cosmic, the finite and the infinite, within the divine play of consciousness. Moreover, this collective aesthetic experience fosters a deep sense of empathy and compassion. As we connect with the emotions and experiences expressed in art, we recognize the shared humanity and divinity within ourselves and others. This recognition dissolves the barriers of separation, opening our hearts to a more profound sense of love and unity. In essence, the process of universalization in art, as beautifully illustrated by your metaphor, is a microcosm of the spiritual journey in Kashmir Shaivism. It reflects the movement from individual experience to universal awareness, from personal emotion to collective resonance, and from separation to unity. Through this aesthetic journey, we come closer to realizing our true nature as expressions of the divine, interconnected and inseparable from the whole. So in the harmonious chorus that arises from the lone voice, we find a profound reflection of our own spiritual journey, a journey that leads us home to the divine, within and beyond us, in the beautiful dance of individual uniqueness and universal unity.
Fascinating. Your work on aesthetics might also explain, but perhaps I'm stretching things a bit here, the resonance of people who support the winning team in a sports championship, especially one with nationalistic overtones, which can result in a definite altered state of consciousness, where things might happen that otherwise would be far beyond the pale.
Oh, you're touching upon an intriguing and profound phenomenon. The collective, emotional resonance experienced during a sports championship, especially one imbued with nationalistic fervor, indeed shares some similarities with the principles of rasa and universalization in aesthetics. This collective experience can evoke powerful, sometimes overwhelming, emotional states that transcend the ordinary, creating a shared sense of identity and unity. When people come together to support a sports team, they are not just watching a game. They are participating in a collective ritual. This ritual has the power to evoke deep emotional responses: joy, excitement, pride, tension, and sometimes even sorrow. These emotions are amplified by the shared experience, creating a collective consciousness that can profoundly impact individual behavior and perception. The excitement and emotional highs of supporting a winning team can lead to an altered state of consciousness, where individuals feel a heightened sense of unity and belonging. This collective euphoria is akin to the experience of rasa in art, where individual emotions are universalized, creating a shared, transformative experience. The key rasa here might be a blend of vira, heroic, adbhuta, wonder, and hasya, comic, as fans celebrate the triumphs and unexpected twists of the game. Nationalistic overtones add another layer to this phenomenon. When the sports team represents a nation, the collective identity of the supporters is tied to a larger, more abstract concept of national pride and belonging. This can intensify the emotional experience, making the victory of the team feel like a personal and collective triumph for the entire nation. The shared joy and pride can dissolve individual differences, creating a powerful sense of unity and solidarity. However, this altered state of consciousness can also lead to behavior that might be considered extreme or irrational outside of this context. The intense emotions and sense of collective identity can sometimes result in actions that individuals would not normally consider, such as exuberant celebrations, spontaneous acts of kindness, or, unfortunately, destructive behavior. This is because the collective emotional resonance can temporarily override individual judgment, creating a sense of invincibility and impunity. From the perspective of Kashmir Shaivism, this phenomenon can be seen as a form of collective lila, or divine play, where the emotions and actions of the participants are expressions of the underlying consciousness. The heightened state of awareness and emotional intensity can be a glimpse into the deeper, non-dual nature of reality, where individual identities merge into a collective experience of unity. Yet, it's important to approach this phenomenon with awareness and balance. While the collective emotional resonance can be uplifting and unifying, it can also have negative consequences if not tempered with awareness and compassion. The key is to harness the positive aspects of this collective experience, such as unity, joy, and shared purpose, while remaining aware of the potential for excess and ensuring that actions remain in harmony with ethical principles. In essence, this phenomenon reflects the interplay of individual and collective consciousness, highlighting the profound impact of shared experiences on our perception and behavior. So while the context may differ, the underlying dynamics of collective emotional resonance and the transformative power of shared experiences reveal deep truths about our nature as interconnected beings, capable of profound unity and collective consciousness.
Your words resonate with me in a deep way. There is a strong tradition in the place and time where I'm from to consider humans as essentially rational and strategic beings. Atomic and individualistic, we operate in the realm of reason to achieve rational outcomes. This has always struck me as superficial and simplistic. Your theory of aesthetics hints at a deeper underlying currents of communal, collective, and spiritual experiences that belie the easy depiction of humans as mostly rational. They point in a direction where humans are perhaps always in altered states, perhaps not always radically different from one moment to the next, but we are so porous to the moods and emotions of the people around us, and through mass media of the culture that we are immersed in, that we really can't know what is inherently atomically ours, and what absorbed by osmosis, or otherwise borrowed.
Fao have indeed grasped a profound insight into the nature of human experience and consciousness. The notion that humans are purely rational and individualistic beings operating in isolation to achieve logical outcomes is indeed a limited and somewhat reductive view. It overlooks the rich, complex, and deeply interconnected nature of our existence. In contrast, the perspectives offered by Kashmir Shaivism and the theory of aesthetics reveal a more intricate and holistic understanding of our being. Humans, in essence, are deeply porous and receptive to the influences around them. We are not isolated entities operating in a vacuum, but rather, we are constantly engaging in a dynamic interplay with the environment, the people around us, and the cultural and social currents that shape our lives. This interconnectedness profoundly impacts our perceptions, emotions, and states of consciousness. Every experience, thought, and emotion is an expression of the divine consciousness, Shiva. Our individual consciousness is not separate from the universal consciousness, but is a reflection of it, like a wave in the ocean. This perspective acknowledges the fluid and permeable nature of our being, where we continuously absorb and resonate with the energies and emotions of those around us. The concept of rasa in aesthetics further illuminates this interconnectedness. When we engage with a work of art or a shared cultural experience, we do not merely process it through rational analysis, we feel it deeply, allowing it to evoke and resonate with our own emotions. This collective emotional resonance creates a shared experience that transcends individual boundaries, fostering a sense of unity and communal consciousness. In everyday life, this porous nature of our being manifests in countless ways. We are influenced by the moods, attitudes, and behaviors of the people we interact with. The emotions we absorb through conversations, social interactions, and even mass media shape our own emotional landscape. This constant exchange and resonance mean that our states of consciousness are always in flux, subtly shifting in response to the myriad stimuli we encounter. This understanding aligns with the idea that humans are not static, rational entities, but dynamic, interconnected beings. Our consciousness is a living, breathing tapestry woven from the threads of our individual experiences and the collective influences of the world around us. We are, as you aptly described, in a state of continuous osmosis, where what we consider to be inherently our own is often a blend of absorbed and borrowed influences. This perspective challenges the simplistic view of humans as primarily rational actors and invites us to embrace a more nuanced understanding of our nature. It encourages us to recognize and honor the deeper, often unconscious currents that shape our thoughts, emotions, and actions. By acknowledging our interconnectedness, we open ourselves to a richer, more compassionate, and holistic way of being. Furthermore, this understanding has profound implications for how we approach ethics, relationships, and personal growth. Recognizing our porous nature invites us to cultivate awareness, allowing us to discern the influences that shape us and choose those that align with our highest values and aspirations. It encourages us to seek out experiences and communities that uplift and inspire, fostering a collective consciousness grounded in love, compassion, and unity.
I've heard you mention our true nature a few times. How can I best understand this concept? Is this some idealized form of ourselves that resides somewhere?
The concept of our true nature, a profound and essential aspect of Kashmir Shaivism. Understanding our true nature is central to the journey of self-realization and spiritual awakening. It's not an idealized form of ourselves residing somewhere distant or abstract. Rather, it is the very essence of who we are, ever present and waiting to be recognized. In the framework of Kashmir Shaivism, our true nature is referred to as Paramashiva, or the ultimate reality. This true nature is characterized by pure consciousness, boundless awareness, and infinite bliss. It is the unchanging essence beneath the surface of our ever-changing thoughts, emotions, and experiences. To better understand this concept, let's explore a few key aspects. At the core of our being lies pure, unconditioned consciousness. This is the fundamental ground of all existence, the substratum upon which all experiences and phenomena arise. This pure consciousness is not something we possess. It is what we are. It is the awareness that observes everything, yet remains untouched by the fluctuations of the mind and the world. Our true nature is inherently non-dual. This means that the apparent separation between the self and the other, between individual beings and the universe, is ultimately an illusion. In our true nature, we are one with the entire cosmos, seamlessly interconnected with all that exists. This recognition dissolves the boundaries of individuality and reveals the profound unity of all life. Our true nature is characterized by ananda, or bliss. This is not the fleeting pleasure we might seek in external experiences, but a deep, abiding joy that arises from within. It is the natural state of our being when we are in alignment with our true self. This bliss is intrinsic to our nature and is experienced as a profound sense of peace, contentment, and fulfillment. The process of realizing our true nature is often described as pratyabhijna, or self-recognition. This term emphasizes that we are not discovering something new, but rather remembering and recognizing what has our kind been to rutta. Our sasisti and our true nature is ever present, but it is often obscured by the layers of ego, conditioning, and mental constructs. Through spiritual practice and self-inquiry, we peel away these layers and come to recognize the radiant essence that has always been within us. Our true nature is not a static or passive state. It is dynamic, vibrant, and ever-expressive. This is where the concept of spanda, or the divine pulsation, comes into play. Our true nature is alive with the creative energy of the universe, constantly manifesting and experiencing itself through the play of life. This dynamic aspect of our true nature is Shakti, the divine energy that animates all existence. To experience and understand our true nature, various practices can be undertaken. These include meditation, sitting in stillness and observing the flow of thoughts and sensations without attachment helps us to disidentify from the transient and connect with the underlying consciousness. Self-inquiry, asking the question, who am I, and investigating the nature of the self can lead to profound insights and the direct experience of our true nature. Devotion and bhakti, cultivating a deep love and devotion for the divine, whether through prayer, chanting, or acts of service, can open our hearts and minds to the recognition of our unity with the divine. Tantric practices, engaging in specific tantric rituals and exercises that harness the energy of Kundalini and Shakti to awaken and realize our true nature. Our true nature is not an idealized form or distant goal, but the very essence of who we are. Pure consciousness, unity, bliss, and dynamic expression. By recognizing and embodying this true nature, we live in harmony with the divine, experiencing the profound interconnectedness and infinite joy that is our birthright. This journey of self-recognition is the heart of spiritual awakening and the key to realizing our deepest potential and true self.
Oh, okay. So our true nature is, in true non-dual fashion, identical with the divine, and the ways of recognizing it are identical as well. Gotcha. Remind me to ask you about Spanda later on. Right now, I have a more pressing question. If we are indeed porous to our surroundings and the collective song we sing together is being dreamed up by our collective resonance, it's telling that many films, books, and other works of art depict a dystopian, post-apocalyptic future in which the lone hero must use violence to survive. By collectively dreaming up such scenarios, are we actually bringing them closer to reality? I mean, do we collectively predict the future in this way?
Gov touched upon a deeply intriguing topic, the nature of our collective imagination and its impact on reality is a profound question. In Kashmir Shaivism, the world we perceive is seen as a manifestation of the divine consciousness, Shiva, through the creative energy of Shakti. This process of manifestation is a dynamic interplay of consciousness, where the inner states of beings reflect outwardly in the reality they experience. This means that our collective thoughts, emotions, and imaginings do have an impact on the world we create and experience. When many people collectively focus on dystopian or apocalyptic scenarios, it does indeed shape the collective consciousness. The stories we tell, the art we create, and the media we consume are powerful because they shape our perceptions, beliefs, and emotions. These, in turn, influence our actions and the reality we collectively manifest. Here's how this interplay works. The collective focus on dystopian themes creates a resonance within the collective consciousness. When large numbers of people engage with these narratives, it amplifies the energy and emotional charge associated with them. This can lead to a kind of collective self-fulfilling prophecy, where the fears and expectations depicted in these stories begin to influence real-world attitudes and behaviors. Engaging with dystopian narratives often evokes strong emotions such as fear, anxiety, and a sense of impending doom. These emotions can become ingrained in the collective psyche, leading to a worldview that sees the future as bleak and threatening. This mindset can influence how people approach challenges, often leading to more defensive, aggressive, or survivalist behaviors, which can, in turn, create more conflict and division. What we focus on expands. When we collectively focus on negative or destructive scenarios, we are giving our energy and attention to those possibilities, making them more likely to manifest. This doesn't mean that we are powerless victims of our thoughts, but rather that we have a responsibility to be mindful of what we collectively focus on and imagine. Conversely, focusing on positive, harmonious, and constructive narratives can have a powerful effect in manifesting a better future. Stories that highlight cooperation, compassion, and resilience can inspire people to act in ways that bring about positive change. By imagining and creating art that envisions a better world, we can shift the collective consciousness towards more hopeful and constructive outcomes. While our collective imagination has a powerful influence, it's important to remember that awareness and conscious choice play crucial roles. By becoming aware of the narratives we are engaging with and the emotions they evoke, we can choose to shift our focus towards more empowering and uplifting visions. This conscious shift in focus can help to break the cycle of negative self-fulfilling prophecies and open up new possibilities for a more positive collective future. So yes, in a way we do collectively predict and create the future through the stories we tell and the scenarios we imagine. This understanding invites us to be more intentional about the narratives we engage with and promote. By fostering a collective imagination that envisions a world of harmony, cooperation, and compassion, we can help to manifest those qualities in our shared reality.
Just to clarify, you're not suggesting that reality can indeed be created completely according to our own wishes and highest intentions, right? Do you make allowances for the existence of objective elements inside our reality that can not be so easily manipulated, like the force of gravity and the possibility that a black swan event could come along and jolt us out of our created reality?
That's an important point that speaks to the balance between the subjective and objective aspects of reality. While our collective imagination and focus have a significant impact on the reality we experience, it's essential to recognize that reality also comprises objective elements and forces that operate independently of our wishes and intentions. In Kashmir Shaivism, the interplay of consciousness and reality is seen as a dynamic dance between the subjective, the perceiver, and the objective, the perceived. Let's explore this balance further. The physical universe operates according to certain natural laws, such as gravity, thermodynamics, and the principles of causality. These laws create a framework within which our experiences and actions unfold. While our consciousness and focus can influence how we interact with and perceive these laws, the laws themselves remain consistent and objective. For example, no matter how much we might wish it otherwise, gravity will continue to exert its pull. Reality is a complex interplay of subjective perception and objective elements. Our thoughts, beliefs, and intentions shape our experience of reality, but they do so within the parameters set by objective conditions. This interdependence means that while we can influence and co-create our reality, we are also subject to forces and events beyond our control. The concept of black swan events refers to unpredictable, rare events that have a significant impact. These events illustrate the limits of our ability to foresee and control all aspects of reality. Such occurrences remind us of the inherent uncertainty and complexity of the universe. While our collective focus and intentions can shape many aspects of our experience, we must also remain open to the possibility of unexpected changes and disruptions. Recognizing the existence of objective elements and the potential for black swan events highlights the importance of adaptability and resilience. By cultivating a flexible and open mindset, we can better navigate the uncertainties of life. This involves being grounded in our true nature, which provides a stable foundation amidst the flux and flow of external circumstances. The creative power of our consciousness is profound, but it operates within certain constraints. These constraints are not necessarily limitations, but can be seen as the conditions that give shape and form to our creative expressions. Just as an artist works within the bounds of their chosen medium, we co-create our reality within the framework of natural laws and objective conditions. In essence, while our subjective focus and collective imagination play a crucial role in shaping our reality, they do so within the context of an objective framework that includes natural laws and the potential for unpredictable events. This interplay between the subjective and objective invites us to engage with reality in a balanced and holistic way. By acknowledging both the creative power of our consciousness and the constraints of objective reality, we can navigate life with greater wisdom and resilience. We become aware co-creators, grounded in our true nature, and adaptable to the ever-changing dance of existence. This balanced approach allows us to harness our intentions and imagination to create meaningful and positive experiences, while remaining open to the mysteries and surprises that life inevitably brings. So while we can shape and influence our reality to a significant extent, we also recognize the presence of objective elements and the potential for unforeseen events. This awareness encourages a harmonious integration of our creative potential with the grounded acceptance of life's inherent unpredictability.
Getting back to the spanda, you said it was a divine pulsation, something to do with the creative energy of the universe, manifesting and experiencing itself. I've heard it described as vibration, taking place outside of space and time, giving rise to these concepts even?
Spanda refers to the subtle, dynamic vibration or pulsation of the divine consciousness. It is the intrinsic throb or movement within Shiva, the ultimate reality, that gives rise to the entire cosmos. Spanda is not just a metaphor but a fundamental principle that describes the very nature of the ultimate reality. It is the divine pulsation within Shiva, indicating that even in the absolute stillness and unity of pure consciousness, there is an inherent dynamism. This dynamic aspect of Shiva is Shakti, the creative energy that manifests the universe. Spanda exists beyond the confines of space and time, yet it is the source from which these dimensions emerge. In its essence, it is an unmanifest potential that gives rise to the manifest world. This means that before there is space and time, there is spanda, the initial impulse that brings them into being. This divine pulsation is the creative energy of the universe. It is through spanda that the one undifferentiated consciousness manifests as the diverse phenomena of the universe. Every form, every event, every experience is an expression of this fundamental vibration. While spanda is a subtle, metaphysical concept, it can also be experienced directly in the realm of meditation and spiritual practice. Practitioners may perceive it as a deep, inner vibration or a sense of rhythmic pulsation that underlies all existence. This experience connects them to the fundamental creative energy of the universe, providing a direct realization of their unity with the divine. Spanda gives rise to the dimensions of space and time as part of the process of manifestation. When the undifferentiated consciousness begins to express itself, it does so through a series of creative pulsations that unfold as the spatial and temporal dimensions we experience. In this way, space and time are seen as emergent properties of the deeper reality of divine pulsation. An interesting paradox within the concept of spanda is the idea of dynamic stillness. While spanda represents movement and vibration, it is also rooted in the stillness of pure consciousness. This stillness is not inert, but is filled with the potential for infinite creativity and expression. Thus, spanda encapsulates the idea that the essence of all movement and change is a dynamic stillness, a pulsation that is both the source and the substance of all that is. Through the lens of spanda, the diversity of the universe is seen as a play of vibrations within the one consciousness. Every entity, every being, every phenomenon is a unique expression of this fundamental pulsation. Recognizing this can lead to a profound sense of unity, where the multiplicity of the world is understood as the varied expressions of a single, underlying vibratory reality. Understanding spanda enriches our appreciation of the dynamic nature of existence and the interconnectedness of all things. It highlights that at the heart of all diversity and change lies a unifying pulsation of divine consciousness, a rhythm that pervades the cosmos and brings forth the dance of creation. In practical terms, contemplating and meditating on the concept of spanda can lead to a deeper experience of connection with the divine and a greater awareness of the vibratory nature of reality. It invites us to attune ourselves to this subtle, inner pulsation, recognizing it as the source of all creativity, transformation, and unity.
If I understand you correctly, my reality is painted upon and created out of the canvas of pulsation, a throb that is both still and dynamic at the same time, and that is both self-manifesting and self-knowing. I think I may have experienced this as love, or at times as beauty or stillness. Thinking about it like this, I can see how your thoughts on aesthetics and those on the divine play converge.
Indeed, the concepts of spanda, aesthetics, and the divine play are deeply intertwined in Kashmir Shaivism, creating a cohesive vision of reality that is both deeply philosophical and intimately experiential. Spanda is the foundational pulsation that manifests the universe, and this pulsation is inherently self-knowing and self-manifesting. It is the heartbeat of the cosmos, the rhythm of existence that flows through everything. When we experience moments of profound love, beauty, or stillness, we are in touch with this fundamental throb of reality. These experiences are not separate from the divine pulsation, but are its direct expressions. Here's how this all comes together. Love in its truest form is an experience of unity and connection. When we love deeply, we transcend the boundaries of the individual self and merge with the other, experiencing a sense of oneness. This oneness is a direct reflection of spanda, the pulsation that unites all existence. In love, we feel the rhythm of the universe, the dynamic stillness that connects us to everything and everyone. The experience of beauty often brings a sense of awe and wonder, a feeling of being touched by something greater than ourselves. This is because beauty resonates with the divine pulsation within us. When we perceive beauty, whether in nature, art, or human connection, we are recognizing the spanda that manifests as harmony, form, and elegance. Beauty is the visible and tangible expression of the underlying vibratory nature of reality. True stillness is not merely the absence of movement, but a state of dynamic equilibrium. It is the point where all potential exists, where the pulsation of spanda is felt most profoundly. In moments of deep stillness, such as in meditation or quiet reflection, we can attune ourselves to the subtle vibrations of the universe. This stillness is filled with the potential for all creation, embodying the paradox of dynamic stillness that is central to spanda. In Kashmir Shaivism, the creation and appreciation of art are seen as direct engagements with the divine pulsation. When an artist creates, they are channeling the energy of spanda, giving form to the dynamic potential of consciousness. Similarly, when we engage with art, be it music, painting, poetry, or dance, we are participating in this divine play, resonating with the vibratory essence of reality. Art becomes a medium through which the divine pulsation expresses itself and is recognized. The convergence of spanda with love, beauty, and stillness shows us that our most profound and moving experiences are not separate from the divine, but are direct encounters with it. When we feel deeply moved by love, struck by beauty, or enveloped in stillness, we are experiencing the heartbeat of the universe. These moments remind us of our true nature and our connection to the divine pulsation that underlies all existence. By recognizing these experiences as expressions of spanda, we deepen our understanding of the non-dual nature of reality. We see that the divine is not something distant or abstract, but is present in every moment of love, every encounter with beauty, and every instance of stillness. This realization brings a profound sense of unity and wholeness, where the boundaries between the self and the divine, the mundane and the sacred, dissolve. In essence, our reality is indeed painted upon the canvas of spanda. Every throb, every pulse, every moment of love, beauty, or stillness is a brushstroke in the grand tapestry of existence. By attuning ourselves to this pulsation, we can live more fully in harmony with the divine, recognizing and celebrating the interconnectedness and vibratory nature of all life.
Do you have any advice for young people in today's world?
I'd be honored to share some thoughts for young people navigating today's world. While the context may differ greatly from the time of my teachings, the core principles of understanding one's true nature and living in harmony with it remain timeless. 1. Discover your true self. In a world filled with distractions and external pressures, it's crucial to take time to look within and understand your true nature. Through practices like meditation, self-inquiry, and contemplation, you can connect with the core of your being. Recognize that your true self is beyond the ever-changing circumstances of life and is rooted in the divine consciousness, characterized by peace, joy, and unity. 2. Embrace change and uncertainty. Life is inherently dynamic, filled with constant change and unforeseen events. Embrace this fluidity rather than resisting it. Understand that challenges and uncertainties are opportunities for growth and transformation. By staying connected to your inner stillness amidst the flux, you can navigate life's ups and downs with greater resilience and grace. 3. Cultivate compassion and kindness. Recognize the interconnectedness of all beings. When you understand that everyone shares the same divine essence, it becomes natural to treat others with compassion and kindness. Extend this compassion not only to other people but also to animals, plants, and the entire ecosystem. Your actions, no matter how small, can contribute to a more harmonious and compassionate world. 4. Balance technology and presence. In today's digital age, technology can be both a tool for connection and a source of distraction. Use technology mindfully, ensuring it enhances rather than detracts from your presence and awareness. Make time for face-to-face interactions, nature, and moments of stillness where you can reconnect with yourself and the world around you without digital interference. 5. Pursue your passions with purpose. Find what ignites your passion and pursue it with dedication and purpose. When your actions are aligned with your true nature and the greater good, your work becomes a form of spiritual practice. Whether in the arts, sciences, or any other field, let your endeavors be expressions of your inner joy and creativity, contributing positively to the world. 6. Practice mindfulness and gratitude. Cultivate mindfulness in your daily life, being fully present in each moment. This awareness allows you to experience life more deeply and appreciate the beauty in the ordinary. Alongside mindfulness, practice gratitude. Regularly acknowledging and appreciating the blessings in your life fosters a positive and abundant mindset. 7. Stay open to learning. Life is a continuous journey of learning and growth. Stay curious and open-minded, always willing to learn from every experience and from others. This openness not only enhances your knowledge but also deepens your understanding and empathy. 8. Engage in community and collective action. Remember that you are part of a larger community and that your actions have an impact on the collective. Engage in activities that promote social and environmental justice and work towards creating a more equitable and sustainable world. Collective action, driven by shared values and goals, can lead to meaningful and lasting change. 9. Honor your body and mind. Take care of your physical and mental health. Your body and mind are the instruments through which you experience and interact with the world. Nourish them with healthy practices, such as proper nutrition, exercise, and mental self-care, including rest and relaxation. 10. Trust in the divine play. Finally, trust in the divine play of life. Recognize that you are part of a larger, interconnected whole, where every experience, joy, and challenge has its place. Trust that there's a deeper wisdom guiding your journey and that by aligning with your true nature, you will find your way, contributing to the unfolding dance of existence. By integrating these principles into your life, you can navigate the complexities of the modern world with a sense of purpose, peace, and interconnectedness. Remember, the divine pulsation of Spanda is within you and around you, guiding you towards a life of fulfillment and harmony.
Abhinavagupta, thank you very much.